Greetings and welcome back. Now in the future I'm planning on expanding my empire, and to do that I need a bunch of resources. But what are you gonna do with a bunch of resources if you can't refine them? So that's why we're gonna build a factory. This factory is gonna be able to refine all 10 resources in the game. Now being able to refine all 10 resources in the game isn't really difficult, you could just do it in one refinery. But I want one refinery for each resource so I don't have to wait for cobalt. Because cobalt takes so long to refine. Now, to build this factory, we first need a location for it. And I really want to build it next to the lake so I have easy hydrogen access. So, let's fly out and see if we can find a suitable spot. Alright, I think we've found a pretty suitable spot. I'm gonna build a factory right here. It's not that far away from my base, so it's gonna be fine. Also, it's pretty flat, which is quite important. Now let's go back and get some plates and some interior plates so we can start planning. Alright, I've gotten some plates. Now it's time to start making some foundations. Alright, now I've set the foundation for where the refineries are gonna go. I found these 3x3 floor pieces, which is a perfect fit for the refinery modules. So I made a platform for them. Now that we have the platform, let's put out our refineries. There we have our refineries. Now, I said that there are 10 different ores, but I have placed out 20 refineries. That's because I want 2 refineries per ore. But before we build the rest of the factory, I thought that I could go over how this system works. So, let's hop over in a testing world. Here in the testing world, we can see that I've put up a little scale model of the full system. So we can see the green line is the input and the red line is the output. And it's really simple actually. We have the cargo of the base. This then goes into some conveyor sorters. These sorters are set with filters. So for example, this only takes in iron ore. This means that only iron ore can pass through this filter. And then we also have drain all on. What drain all does is it's gonna take everything that is in the connected inventories and try to push it through the conveyor sorter. But since the filter is only on iron ore, it's only gonna push through all the iron ore through this. This one is set up for nickel. So this refinery will only take in iron ore and this will only take in nickel ore. And then we do the same on the output. So these filters are set to drain all as well as only ingots. And then they will be pushed to this cargo container. I have put a little bit of iron and nickel in here. Let's just put that in here. Like so. And then we can go down to the refineries and we can see that one of them is only getting iron while the other one is only getting nickel. And all of that is being pushed out to the small cargo container. So that's how the system works. Now let's go build it in our world. Now that I'm back from the testing world, let's start welding up what's gonna be inside the factory. But first, I need to get a beacon down and a battery so the grid won't despawn. Now we know the grid won't respawn, let's start welding. Hope you like my little time lapse. Anyway, now most of the inside of the factory is completed. So as you can see, we have the green input line and then we have the green input storage. So I'm gonna build like a landing pad or something here where I can land my mining ships. So everything will go in here and then through all of the filters and then out at the top. And then they are gonna go into the silos on the side. Now I'm gonna build one silo for each resource. I know that's complete overkill, but I think it's gonna look pretty cool. And then I'm gonna build like an output bay or something over here. So, let's start working on the exterior of this build.
One eternity later.
I'd say I've gotten quite a proper shape of the factory. I'm gonna add some pipes here, and then another module here, and then I'd say, and then just a few more details, and then I'd say that the main building is complete. So let's let's just build these smoke pipes. I found this, or I found. I knew they existed. These where are they? The exhaust pipe. These emit smoke, and I think that's gonna look really cool as a pipe on the side.
A few moments later.
Alright, I'm back after building the pipes. And I gotta say, the factory is really starting to come together right now. These smokestacks really makes the factory look really great. I also added this like section on the side. I'm planning on having batteries in them, because the refineries are gonna use quite a lot of power. And I also went in and added yield modules to all of the refineries. Now when you have 4 yield modules on a refinery, you double the output. But they are pretty slow, so and that's also one of the reasons why I have 20 refineries. Anyways, now the only thing that's really left is just input and output on this side. I was gonna plan on having like silos, but what I think I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna wait for the economy updates, because that adds like resource containers that look like containers. So I was planning on building like a container harbor here or something, and I think that's gonna look really cool. So we're gonna wait for that to finish that. So then the last thing really is just to add some inputs. Now the way I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna add some helicopter pads. Now eventually I'm gonna add the like cargo car pads, because I want I want like cargo trucks driving around my world, you know, loading up here, going to another factory. So yeah, I have a lot planned for this world. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna build some helicopter pads. So let's get to that. First I need to expand my platform a little bit. I do like the concrete design though of the platform. I think it makes everything look really good. I'm not like completely sold on the color of the factory. No, like I'm sold on the color, but not like the texture. I really wish there was like a brick texture. Anyway, let's build some helicopter pads. So the first thing we gotta do is expand our platform a little bit. Let's first choose our concrete texture again. I don't think I need to expand it that much. I'm gonna do 10 blocks. That should be more than enough. So yeah, let's fill this in. There we have the frames for the blocks. Yeah, the back doesn't look too good right now. I'm gonna change that eventually, but anyway, let's weld up these these blocks. So let's just hop in our little welding ship and start welding. Now this ship has most of its thrusters pointing upwards, so being angled like this isn't really something it likes doing. I mean, it can do it, but yeah, I have to literally just scrape the floor to be able to weld up stuff. Anyway, yeah, let's get this floor welded up. Now we just have the final blocks to weld up. This project has used quite a lot of steel plates. I'll probably use like 100,000 steel plates for this project. And with this refinery, at least doing more of it is gonna be easier. Which I am all for. And there we go. Our platform extension is complete. Now we just need to make like a landing pad. Which I don't really think is gonna be all that difficult. I'm gonna make a hole in the side of the factory so I can bring a pipe out. I'm gonna do that first. It's not that important, so just about here. There we go. Also lines up with the cargo container. Now let's go and get some interior plates so we can build up some pipes. I've gotten some interior plates. Now let's build up some pipes. Of course I have to make them yellow. There we go. And like that. There we go. And I think this is good. For now at least. Like this, and then all we need is a connector. Like that. Now let's get this welded up. Here we go. Now the pipes are welded up. Now we just need to make a little landing platform, and I'd say it's quite done. I'm not gonna make it anything fancy right now. This is basically just temporary. So let's just make a pretty basic platform. Oh, there we go. There we are. And now let's weld this up. I'm gonna go and get my welding ship to do that. Be right back. Alright, I've got my welding ship. Now let's weld up this little platform. There we go. Now our little platform is welded up. Alright, I'm just sitting here looking at my factory. I gotta say, I'm really happy with the way the factory turned out. I think it looks really good. Now I'm not fully finished with it, but I think I'm gonna leave the episode there. It's taken quite a while to get this episode out. Well, anyway, I hope you like... Oh wow, it started raining. Oh well, fitting outro, I guess. Anyway, I hope you liked the video, and I will see you next time.